This week we're talking texting dogs,
That tickles.
NOOBS updates, Captain Crunch, and green beans. All right, everyone, welcome to µNews, covering the top stories of the week. Let's jump right in and start with Twilio. This week, Ricky Robinette, or Robinet, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, created a pretty awesome project on their blog. We'll link it up below, where he basically made his dog text him. He attached an accelerometer to him, coupled it with the Tessel, and was able to write some code that's also posted up in that blog so that you can see how he did that. And basically the accelerometer detected when his dog was at rest or moving, and he got text throughout the day to track how much his dog was sleeping while he was out, which is awesome. We're always talking about Internet of Things, tweeting toasters, things like that. Texting dog. My favorite part from the article is when he mentions that he has to deploy things to his dog. It's awesome. Anyway, if you haven't heard of Twilio or Tessel, you need to check them both out. This is a Tessel module. It's just a little guy here, able to run JavaScript natively. Anyway, some interesting things that you can do with that using the Twilio node packages and make your dog tweet. Pretty cool stuff. All right, our next story comes out of Imager, where Quantum City posted a pretty cool hack for creating a Raspberry Pi Model B Plus case out of a Manila folder, which was pretty neat. He has a PDF and a CAD version of that you can print out and cut out, and then you just a little bit of folding. It takes about 10 or 15 minutes. The folding was a little harder than I originally thought, but if you get a ruler to make nice straight fold lines, it actually works out pretty good. After thinking about it for a while, I decided, man, a cereal box would probably really work well for this. So went upstairs, dug through the pantry, and before you know it, we had found Captain Crunch and made a case out of that. I'll post the picture of that, but worked like a charm. Looks really nice and great way to have a case. So thanks to Quantum City for posting that. I have downloaded the CAD files and am modifying them so that they will work for the Model A and B as well. So stay tuned for those. I will post them when they are ready. A quick note on that, when you do print it out, you need to make sure that there is no scaling when you print out the PDF, if you print it that way. When I first printed it, Windows had kind of resized it and auto-fit it to the screen, to the page I mean, and it was a little off, and so just make sure that you turn any kind of scaling off, things like that. You get a nice clean print, easy to cut out and fold. All right, the biggest news coming out of the Raspberry Pi Foundation this week is an updated version of Raspbian and NOOBS. A lot of things that they've included in there. Some of the important ones, we've got Java has been updated to the JDK version 8, Mathematica is up to version 10, Sonic Pi is version 2, Minecraft Pi will now be installed by default, and Epiphany is replacing the Midori browser as the default browser in the Raspbian image. So pretty cool things. If you're looking to start a new project, go ahead and download the latest version of those. Remember, if you have an existing project, you don't have to wipe it and install fresh. You can update your existing installation of Raspbian. We'll link up instructions for how to do that thanks to the Raspberry Today website, and you should be good to go. The biggest story of the week comes out of GE. Now, a lot of times in the maker community, we talk about things like community, Node.js, GitHub, all these things and tools that we use to share. Not something you normally hear coming out of a big corporation, but GE has done just that this week at MakerCon. They announced and released the Green Bean, which is a small development board that allows you to hack into your GE appliance. They call it the bridge to the brains of your GE appliance, and essentially lets you get access to the sensors and physical endpoints on your GE appliance. So things like on your fridge, how much water consumption, being able to turn the lights on the outside. There's some pretty interesting projects going on. It's all out in a public build area there on the First Build website. We'll link it up down below. But really smart move by GE. They are doing something that I think more companies should do, which is basically giving hackers a license to mess around with their products. You no longer have to rip your GE dryer apart and tap into certain wires to hack on it. You can just install a Green Bean It is, they do have a list of supported models that will work on, and I'm sure future models will probably support it by default. But really cool stuff coming out of GE in first build. We'll link up some things below, an interview that they did that talks about it and explains why they're doing it and how it works. And so really exciting things. Kind of a dark horse for me. Didn't expect something like that out of a big company. So props to GE for innovating and supporting the community. Okay, this week we're bringing you a tip from µNews, which is how to fix a loose SD card slot. I see a lot of people online, they get the power light on the Pi, but they don't get the activity light. I think maybe that the Pi is defective or that there's something wrong with their SD card. Sometimes it's neither. Sometimes you just don't have a good contact with the contacts within the SD card slot. And so an easy way to fix this, I couldn't find the reference of who made this on Imager, but I'll link up the steps to it. But basically, if you just take that SD card, put it on a sticky note so that the sticky part kind of holds onto it and tacks it, cut out around it, it gives it just enough extra width that it will fit snug in that slot and make good contact with the pins. It's a quick and easy thing to try if you're getting, like I said, a power light, but no activity light when you plug it in. It's not booting up. I've seen that work for several people as a fix. And that segues us perfectly into this week's tweet of the week from Patrick. He had a loose SD card slot issue, and so he used some brilliant ingenuity here. I don't know if that's a rock to some rubber bands. Almost looks like a hair thing if you've got daughters. To hold his SD card in, and worked fine. I suggested that he try the sticky note, and he did say that worked for him as well. But this is the kind of thing that I love about getting into your basement, or if you don't have a basement, somewhere in your house, and hacking around. It's just coming across these problems and doing whatever it takes to solve them. And that's really what the hacking community is all about. All right, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate anybody who is tuning in on this. We're early stages here. I'm still working out the lighting, if you can tell, but we're doing our best and try and make it better each week. But really appreciate you taking the time to watch. Please give me some feedback or some comments below. Tell me stuff that you'd like to see. I'm open to hearing things like that. And please subscribe up if you haven't already, so that you can get notified when the latest episodes come out. Appreciate you guys watching. See you next week. Which also brings us to this week's tweet of the week. Can't remember the guy's name. Crap.
That tickles.
So hopefully this all turns out.